Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Conversations with Yoders Farm. My name is Eldon and I've got Lowell here with me today. Lowell, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Eldon. Good to be here, as always, which is always what I say.
That's right. Well,
it's always true.
It's April 3rd and we are quickly rolling on into
April
spring.
3rd of 2020.
That's a good point. And today I think we're going to talk some about some possible changes or some things we might have to do a little differently during our pick your own strawberry season this spring. So I'll just kind of give it to you and let you talk about that, and I'll interject as I have questions or whatever.
Okay. You're going to interject. Well, first of all, it's a beautiful day outside. It is about 67 degrees with a breeze, a bit of a stronger breeze than normal, I guess, but it's a pretty spring day. Bluebird skies. So
you are in a rare mood.
It's hard to imagine that a pandemic is sweeping the globe sometimes.
That's true. Yep.
So anyway, so we will talk a little bit about what we're thinking in regards to the upcoming strawberry season, which is rapidly approaching. And then we'll give you a little strawberry update sometime, I guess, if you remind me.
Okay.
So I still think I think I was earlier saying, around the 20th to open. It's been a little cooler the last couple weeks. Some cool nights. I think things have slowed down just a little bit. So I'm starting to think a little bit more 25th-ish.
Okay.
And I don't even know how that falls on days of the week. But anyway.
Yeah.
Something towards the latter part of April.
Always hard to pin you down on an opening date, but that's because it's difficult to...
which is what I always tell you, right?
Yeah, but I like that we can actually talk about it now since we have a podcast and give some background.
Well, I'm really just guessing. I really have no idea. I'm just saying things like that to try to make you think that I know what I'm talking about.
No, it's if you give some context around a day.
Fair enough. Yeah.
It's fine.
Anyway, late April on the pick your own patch. Probably
25th is a Saturday, by the way.
Okay, so that wouldn't be a bad day to open up.
We'll see.
We'll have berries in the store, already picked berries, probably a week to 10 days before we open. In fact, the earliest variety has some decent size little green berries on, so they're rapidly coming on.
Mm-hmm.
The Sweet Charlies, they're the first variety that we start picking, so they're actually looking really good. It's one of the better Sweet Charlie crops I've grown. Why are we talking about strawberries? I thought we were going to talk about other things.
I don't know.
Anyway,
you just kind of got started.
They look really good. It's a little bit of a smaller plant, and it's kind of has an open crown. So some years they get really beat up by freezes and frosts, even if we cover them, just because it's a little. They stick all their blooms up there on top, and sometimes if blooms touch the bottom of the row covers, it still fries them, even though they're underneath. So anyway, we've had very little of that this year, and so they actually look very good.
Well, good.
So that's a positive.
Yeah.
And we had good growth on them last fall. That's one that's very sensitive to getting it in on time. It'll reward you in the spring. So, should have a good amount of Sweet Charlies. I'm planting more this year than we normally do. So, anyway, all that to say, we'll have berries in the store before we open the pick your own patch. So, getting some calls, and people are starting to wonder about what this means to pick your own strawberries this year,
particularly the coronavirus, social distancing.
Yeah. So we have gotten some calls, but frankly, actually, our call volume has been a little bit lower, which is understandable. There's a lot on everyone's minds, so we're hoping that people will still feel safe to come out here. Yeah. We have planted a bunch of strawberries last fall, and we had no clue that anything like this was coming. So we're gonna have a crop regardless of whether people come or not, and we would hate to see that go to waste. And frankly, it is a big part of our farm, the farm year,
our ability to survive financially. You're saying,
it's a large chunk of the pie. We try to diversify and have other options too. But anyway, strawberry season is
it makes a huge difference for us
here
at the farm. Yeah.
So back to the to what we're talking about. We understand these are different times, and so we're wanting people to feel safe. We want to follow guidelines, which we have. I think we talked about a little bit last time that there are guidelines floating around. Some of these seem to be a little bit vague and changing, but here's what it might look like. So you'll come in, park as before. Side note, I was into pick up some groceries today. Did an online pickup. There are lots of people out and about yet in stores and parking lots. We feel, and I think most of y'all would agree. I mean, out here on a farm, we have a lot of open space, and so you can keep some distance between you and the person who parks beside you. So that's a good thing. So you come in, park, and probably one of the biggest changes this year is this is not set in stone. We're still finalizing, but very likely we will not allow people to bring their own buckets and containers to pick into. We have traditionally done that. We weigh those in, put a little sticker on at the scales, and then send you to the field. Well, this anyway, it involves weighing. It involves you hauling these containers into our field, and it would seem prudent this year to not allow that. And we've seen some other strawberry patches going to that. So as much as it pains us and we don't like it, that's probably what we're going to do. So we'll offer little buckets like we have before. The buskets, they hold about 5 pounds, 5 and a bit more if you round them up nicely. And likely is what we're going to do is go to just a flat bucket price this year. In other words, we won't be selling by the weight. That will eliminate, handling, scales, those kind of things.
Multiple interactions that.
Tried to.
We're trying to streamline it as much.
Speed our lines up, hopefully, so there'll be less chance of people hanging out in close proximity to each other. It eliminates our clerk from having to handle the buckets that you have handled, and just help things flow a little bit better. I don't know exactly how that's going to go. We've never done it that way. We've always done it by weight. You can go out and pick 2.5 pounds, 3 pounds, whatever. This is going to, obviously you're probably going to want to fill your bucket up to get the most value for your money. Yeah. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Not really. I mean, we've discussed all these things like 47 different ways. And just one other little thing about probably the purchasing part of things is if people could use credit cards, that's actually one more point of contact that we wouldn't have to have something handled by the customer, handled by one of our folks at the stand. And probably will still accept cash, but
probably
credit card would
at
be
least in a spot or something.
Yeah.
But if you have a credit card, we can fix our readers, or you can just punch your card in, and that speeds things up, and it's one less contact point.
Yeah. So mostly the main things we're trying to streamline is contact points, and then congregating, I guess, is the other.
Yeah. So the other thing, so our field is large. It's spread out. Our rows are actually 6 feet plus. Some of them are wider than that. So really, it seems like it would be. It seems like social distancing shouldn't be too much of a challenge here. Very likely, we will ask people to wash their hands before going into the field. Seems to make sense, and you should probably wash your hands when you go home. When you go home too, but that's up to you, I guess. That's kind of how it's looking like it may be. I know it will be a change, especially the charging by the bucket. So likely we're going to be, so obviously a by volume measure isn't quite as precise as by weight. But if you figure a bucket is going to be between 5 and 5.5 pounds, right now we're looking at $12 a bucket, give or take. I still haven't finalized our price. You gave me a funny look. If we're in that range, we're basically, last year we charged $1.99 a pound. If we're in the $12 range, that puts the berries at about $11, which is right in line with where we were last year. And then the buckets cost us close to $1.
Yeah.
So it,
we usually just kind of let them go almost at cost and charge $1 a piece for them.
Yeah.
Right?
So essentially, our price wouldn't really be changing from last year, except we would you maybe have to buy or we'd like to cover our costs on the buckets because we buy them up front. But
yeah.
Anyway,
we'll finalize all these details and keep an eye on Facebook and Instagram. We'll definitely, and the website. We'll definitely post details price wise and what we ever end up with and how the process is supposed to work.
Yeah, so it's a tricky thing. We obviously, the food we grow here, we kind of specialize in a few things.
Mm-hmm.
I guess food is essential. Some foods are, maybe not as essential, depending who you talk to. I guess strawberries and tomatoes. I don't know. I would say they're right up there with essential anyway.
They're essential for our business at the very least.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess I just hope that we do produce, tons and tons of these products. And I know it's not like, the staples of life. Bread and milk and whatever else the staples of life are. But we do hope that people want to come out and pick.
Yeah.
And I think they will. And at least they add some variety to your diet.
Yeah, at the very least, it's suffice to say it's going to be a little bit of a different year.
Yeah, one other note we've talked about is we have welcomed children, and I don't think we're not going to say that no children will be allowed to come.
Yeah,
but it could be a little challenging, especially with young children, trying to maintain social distancing. One thing that we are thinking about is, we know that people eat berries in the patch. We really discourage that this year.
Yeah,
that really shouldn't be happening because you're touching your face and you're doing things out there that we just with this year we really don't want to happen or have happen. So. Young children, maybe this isn't the best year to bring them to the farm. Maybe swing out here and grab a quick couple buckets yourself and then come back in the fall and bring your children back next year. We hope everything's back to normal. And
sure.
It's not that we're going to say absolutely no children, but just might want to think about those things.
Definitely, at least keep it in mind. Keep a really close eye on your kids.
We haven't really talked about the snack shack. Obviously, restaurants have been encouraged to go to they have to go to a takeout kind of format.
One thing we're a little concerned about, we have talked about a bit, is just getting supplies is going to be pretty difficult for us. So we're not sure what that's going to end up meaning for the snack shack.
May have only run it on the weekends or something, Friday, Saturday.
If we run it, yeah.
If we run it, that might be one of the things we decide might not be worth the hassle.
Yeah, it might be just worth more to have another checkout line open. And
I wonder too, spread
things.
people out.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're thinking now. The one other little thing is our little farm store, which runs through the wintertime and is also open during berry season. We sell pre-picked strawberries, tomatoes, jams, and jellies there. It's just a little small farm stand, and it can get kind of crowded on a busy day. So we have been talking about possibly, at least on busy days, moving that, or moving some of the product, like especially already picked berries, outside where someone could swing in, grab a bucket or grab a flat of berries and go.
Yeah.
We're still working on details like that. I don't think we're going to do online ordering and that kind of thing. We could, we've talked about it, but I just don't think it's going to work for us right now. But we will try to make it where people can swing in, just grab a flat of berries and leave quickly.
Yeah. We're going to do our best to have plenty of pickers picking this year, so hopefully that'll.
Yeah, we'll try. Which these things also raise some challenges on the labor front too. But
as always, just would like to encourage you to check Facebook, Instagram, the website before you come out. Before the season, we'll have more information there about what things specifically will be different, and if we don't have pre-picked one day or whatever, that would be on Facebook or Instagram or things like that. So
like a rainy day, which hopefully it won't rain much during strawberry season, but
we'll see.
It does happen occasionally.
It does happen. All right, well, that kind of exhausts what I know about the things we're talking about doing differently. Is there anything else we should cover on that front?
No, I think that's where we're leaning, and we're going to watch and see, watch what kind of guidance we get from the folks that are telling us what to do.
And there's some patches that will be opening earlier than us down east that might
we're watching to see what works well for them. We don't have to reinvent the wheel up here. We can see how it goes and go from there. Crop wise, it looks like a good crop. They're blooming well now, and we've had some covers on the last few nights. We've had some chilly nights, but it's not really actually turned out to be needed. But it looks like a decent crop. The patch looks actually really pretty right now.
Yeah, I need to go out and take some pictures of it here at some point. So
nicely, so should be a good season if we can just figure out how to get these all to the people who we know want them.
We just want to do it safely and under the proper guidelines.
Yeah, so we want people to understand we're taking things seriously, but we also think that we can do this in a responsible way, in a way that follows guidelines, a way that's safe for you, a way that's safe for us, and will help everybody.
And hopefully next year will be very different.
Yeah.
I guess that's
won't normal life feel great again? Whatever that is, man, I don't know.
Yeah.
Other crops, greenhouse tomatoes are volume is picking up, looking good, and that spring house that we've been talking about for a long time, it's finally ripening, and so we should have very good volumes of tomatoes over the next few months. And
very good.
Well,
so the farm store is open right now, normal hours. So if you want to come out, you're welcome to. If somebody else is in the store, maybe wait for them to come out before you go in or something.
It's kind of been working pretty well.
Very good. Well, I think that's probably a good place to kind of wrap things up, so I guess we'll wrap it up.
I guess so. I mean, I was thinking about a homemade toilet paper recipe, but I don't know. We're so busy with everything else. I don't think we can really tackle that this spring. So
yeah, well, you'd have to develop one. I'm not sure if you can even find one. So
yeah, probably not.
Maybe we could shoot a tutorial video sometime.
Maybe so.
Probably not. All right. Well, if you've listened this far, thank you for listening.
And we do apologize if you've listened this far.
No, we don't apologize.
Okay.
It's all good information, I think.
Up
mostly.
until now.
Yeah.
So when we're just
Yeah, so
Shut
thanks
it
for
down.
listening. Yeah, and thanks for thinking about the farm. I know it's kind of the last thing on a lot of folks' minds these days is how other folks are handling things. But
I'm not sure if that's true. That's since there's a lot of
well, okay, I'm just speaking personally.
well, no, yeah, you're
No, it's easy to forget that a business is still
That's-
trying
yeah.
to make things work, and
that's true, and you're very focused on yourself and your family, which is understandable in these times,
Yeah.
and how things affect you. But I do sense, I mean, I don't know, there's just a lot of people that are interested in other people right now and how they're
Yeah.
doing, and everyone says when they leave, it used to be, see ya or later or whatever, be safe.
yeah,
That's like the new thing, and
that's true.
Yeah, there are a lot of just horrible, awful things that are happening, especially in New York and some of those really hard hit places. But it also brings out the other side in people too.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
We interact with a lot of good people, so
Yeah.
we're blessed in that
Well,
regard.
we will work together to make as good of a situation out of this as we can, I reckon. So,
That sounds reasonable.
all right. Well, thanks for listening for the third time, and we'll be back.
Well, it's
in
like
a
the lady that
couple of weeks.
called me the other day, and she said, we will get. She was asking about strawberries, and she said, we will get through this. Yeah, it's just good to have people say that. It's
Yeah.
true.
All right. We'll see y'all.
They are through this podcast. So
Yep.
that's good.
I'm
Yeah.
cutting it off
All
right
You
now.
cut it off. My phone's ringing.